Gung-ho reaction, a topic taboo. Hey there, kids, it's Folie. Hello.
Hello.
It doesn't seem to be working.
That's sounding.
It's just so strange because usually you can see the.
I know what. It's like we're a patient that's on the table and you don't know if we're gonna make it.
I know. I'm kind of scared we might not be.
What are we gonna? I keep wanting to ask our listener.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? And I don't want to re-record like tomorrow. You know, like we've done that before.
We have, and we'll do it. But man, we're busy chickens.
We busy chickens.
And hatching some eggs.
We just hatched an egg today.
We gotta scramble them up and
put them in an omelet.
Dice them onions.
And put them in a potato peel.
Onions in a potato peel?
We are so
That's
hungry.
New. We are. We cannot stop talking about food.
All the food, all the time.
Why did you hear me? I think I spoke clearly when Josh came in the room and I said, "Are you here for snacks?"
I know, and it's been at least 20 minutes.
He's gone, and
still no sign of snacks.
I think it's actually been maybe more like 7 or 8 minutes, but I think it's time to text him.
Feels like 20.
Should I just text him and say snacks? Your face really needs to be seen when you say some of these things.
I know. You know, we used to be better about doing things on our Folie page.
Yeah. We suck at it now.
Yeah, we really do. Like live vids, but nobody. I'm putting on our Folie page, and I'm fixing to do a live video.
You're fixing to go live.
I'm fixing to go live because you know what? Why not?
And you know what? I'm just going to call out our listeners right now, maybe, hopefully, and just say that the engagement on our Folie page has gone way down.
It's because we suck.
It's because we're not posting.
We're not posting anything. We're not posting it in the Facebook group.
Rarely on Instagram. Although, surprisingly, our Instagram engagement is a little bit better than it has been.
I think that's the key, is to suck at social media.
Yeah.
And they will come.
They will come. Suck and they will come. Oh, God. Why did it take me so long to hear what I just said?
I know. And you got it right away, which is very not typical for me.
I am the one who said it. Yeah. Cheers.
Maybe that's the key. Cheers. Skål för fan.
Hootbra.
Skitbra.
Hootbra.
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 Just like an owl. Speaking of, we are introducing a new little segment to the show that we are excited about, and it is called
Simon Says. Simone Says.
Or Simon, if you prefer.
I prefer Simon.
I prefer it depends on whether I'm speaking in English or in Swedish.
So you actually do the pronunciation to go with the language.
Exactly. So if I'm talking to him and I'm like, "Hey, Simon, blah, 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 blah," in English, then it sounds better to say Simon. But if I was to be like, "Hey, Simon, hur mår du?" I would say it in Swedish.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds right.
And you know, in all honesty, I think I always say Simon.
Yeah.
On occasion, I remember to say Simon.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's hard.
It's hard. It's all difficult in this world.
It is.
That's all I need to say. I do not need to elaborate.
No.
Everyone knows it.
Yes. It's a very known fact.
Yes.
Actually.
It is. It's all anyone can talk about, and yet we don't need to talk about it.
And yet I don't even know why we're talking about it.
I don't even remember what we're talking about.
What? What were we talking about?
What the meep?
Oh, yes. Simon Says.
Yes, Simon Says.
This is where we're going to introduce what he has said.
Yes.
Shit. We can't do that for these guys because, okay, what we're going to do here is put in the clip that Simon sent us.
Let's try to say how charming it was.
It was so cute. It was like, hello. This is Simon, or Simon if you prefer.
Or Simon if you prefer. He's gonna hate this.
And he said that he does not like this idea because he doesn't like recording his voice. But since we kind of put him on the spot last week, he'll go ahead and do it. He notices when we laugh. We get pretty excited, which he enjoys, but we like to make little piggy noises.
Little piggy noises.
Yeah, which was the cutest thing I've ever heard.
So cute. It's so much cuter than the way they said it in Deliverance.
Yes. Wait, how?
Squeal like a piggy?
Squeal like a piggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Yes.
You haven't seen that movie, have you?
I feel like
I feel like you don't need to, and you shouldn't.
Like
You might be able to... I mean, you can handle pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Actually, you have nerves of steel compared to me.
I know. Last night
we watched like a ultra-violent movie.
Called Mayhem.
Mayhem.
It was that needless gore.
Yeah, and it was so like gore. I mean, it was kind of gore porn, I guess.
Yeah,
like it was
which
like
I enjoy.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, we're being gory. Yeah, we know we're over the top.
Yeah.
You know you want it.
Yeah, just more like nonsensical amounts of blood and gore, and I like that. I see it when it seems more realistic, it bothers me. Like to watch somebody get a shot on film, just to see the skin be pulled up and
that's so
a
funny.
Tiny needle to be put in freaks me out.
Wow.
But I can watch somebody get stabbed in the head with a board and a nail sticking out of it.
Whereas like I was sitting next to you and I kept being like, "Tah!" And I would turn away and I would see her face and she'd be like,
"Hello, Simon."
"Hello, Simon." Sorry, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't try to affect a terrible Swedish accent. That's gotta be offensive.
Hello, Simon.
Hello, Simon.
That's how all Swedes famously sound. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I would just look over at Melody and she'd just be,
no big deal.
"It's okay, Amy. Now she's twisting the scissors in the other girl's eye. It's almost done."
You didn't even like looking at the affected
red
eye.
I didn't. The infected red eye, even though I know it was probably CGI. Yeah, if you want a really, just mindless gore fest and you like Stephen Ewan, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, it was, and the plot didn't hold together, but they know that and they don't give a meep.
Yeah. It was good because it kind of reminded me of I like trauma films that are just awfully like B horror.
Yeah.
Just like horrible, but they're good.
And they're like, we know what we are and we're happy.
And it's fine. That reminded me of like a better version of it. Like it was poorly done in a really good way.
Yeah, like you could tell that there was some skill with the directing and of course the acting, and this is now a movie review podcast.
Yes, it is indeed.
Watch Mayhem with Stephen Ewan. I would give it a on a sliding scale. What is the sliding scale?
I would give it, our sliding scale is 1 peanut to 14 cheddar peppers.
Ooh, okay. Are these regular peanuts or circus peanuts?
Oh, God. If it were even one circus peanut, that
would be the win.
That would be the win.
Okay, so regular peanuts and cheddar peppers.
Unsalted peanuts with the red shell thing still on them.
But you get 1 Trump circus peanut to use on the best movie of all time.
Okay, I dig it.
Okay.
Yeah, can you shut that thing up?
What the?
I'm kidding. I love you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, darling. I love you.
I love you. Don't be so sensitive. Oh, okay. Put that away.
We did not finish saying what our Simon Says was. Swedish accent, new topic to address. Now it's time for Simon Says.
Hello, this is Simon, or Simon if you prefer. Just gonna start by saying I don't think this is the greatest idea ever. I'm not a big fan of recording my voice. But since you kind of put me on the spot like this, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I've noticed that when things get kind of silly, you laugh a lot. which is great. And you make little piggy noises. Little piggy noises. Little piggy noises. And if you do that during the podcast, by the end of it, I want you to reveal a guilty pleasure.
I already have my guilty pleasure in mind because I guarantee I'm going to be a little piggy. Mm-hmm. We never can't be, and we're drinking beer.
Yes.
Which definitely means, I mean, even one beer is going to make me silly.
Last time I had a 1 1/4, and I think I was a little on the ridiculous side.
Yeah, you were.
More than usual.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say more than usual, but I would just say
a different type.
A different type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have lots of guilty pleasures, but I think I've got mine in mind.
Okay, cool.
Because it is really embarrassing.
Is it? Okay, I don't need to know. We'll find out if we
you
find
will.
out.
You'll find out.
Yeah. So
I am going to scoot back because the more that I see myself on a live video, the more distracted I get.
I know I haven't barely even looked.
I know.
To see who else is. We don't have snacks, Josh says.
Josh!
That's rude.
That is so rude. I told you, I don't think he loves me anymore.
I know. He doesn't.
I love him so much.
He told me earlier.
I know.
He said Amy smells a lot like Cheese Whiz.
He told me that too. And I was like, well, what's the problem then? I was like, I reached out for a hug. I was like, thank you.
Wait, he didn't like straight up give you one?
No, because I guess the Cheese Whiz thing was an insult.
Oh.
I took it like, oh my gosh, that means that he wants to like.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, and he was, and you were
put
like,
me on a potato chip.
Like, get away from me. Yeah. That stuff is filled with carbohydrates, preservatives.
It's not real cheese.
Oil.
It's all your favorite things, and I don't want any of it in this house.
No.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Josh.
You damn blue-eyed blueberry. Blue-haired blueberry. Your eyes are not blue.
I thought you were talking about Josh, but I don't think his eyes are blue either.
No, they're not.
I do have indigo hair. Would you call it indigo? I put some green in it, so maybe it's not indigo.
Golly. I would call it jade.
Jade? Ooh.
Well, it's a little darker than jade, but except when you get it in the light.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see it in the light.
And with a few washes, I think it'll be more of a true jade.
Yeah.
Yep. Ever since I went purple, you guys, I've not been able to dye my hair an ordinary color. Because why? Why would you do that?
No. And ever since I went blue-green, I have been like, screw it. I don't ever want to do it again.
Yep, we reversed it.
Yeah.
You were traumatized by the experience.
I really kind of was.
I was elated and addicted.
If my hair were less sucky, or you know what, I feel like if it were a little shorter,
yes,
I wouldn't mind. But it takes so long, and it takes a lot of product.
It takes a lot of product just to dye this amount of hair. I can't imagine yours.
No, you shouldn't imagine.
I don't want to.
No. Should we be on to our next segment?
Yeah. This is going to be a good one.
This is a good one already.
This is a good one.
This is a
good one.
I love it so much.
Let's talk us way more.
Oh, wow.
I could really go for some linguine right now.
Linguine?
Yeah. Like, I just want those, like, really... I want those really thick, buttery noodles to just whip around on my plate and just...
That reminds me of one day... Oh, gosh. I was probably... I want to say 18 or 19. Coming back from a trip to Pennsylvania with my aunt... Linda and my grandmother, and and my cousin Natalie. We stopped at a restaurant. I don't remember what restaurant it was, but my grandma, she's probably, I don't want to guess how old she was. She was in her 80s at the time.
Wow.
And that's a long trip. I mean, it's a 24-hour drive.
That's exhausting for even people our age.
Exactly. So we were on our last leg of the journey, and she had been a little bit delirious. And we get into the restaurant. She's looking at the menu. The server comes along and asks what she would like, and she said, "I'll have that linger on a weenie."
Linger on a weenie.
Linger on a weenie.
Oh, I love her.
And we lost our minds. Like,
did she know what she was doing?
Shit. She did. She absolutely did. But then she denied it for the rest of her life. She denied it. And my cousin and my aunt and I, we still talk about it. Like, every time we talk about Grandma, we're like, do you remember the linger on a weenie?
I've never heard that before. Do you think she came up with that?
She absolutely did. She was the most clever, wittiest woman I've ever met in my entire... Like, she is so funny. I wish more than anything, Amy, the world is... I know people say it when you lose someone you love. And I know that everybody's special and they really, like, people think that they're
blah, blah,
special.
blah. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this woman was... something else. Like, there was not a person who met her that did not think she was hilarious, that didn't love her automatically. She was so funny. She had wit like I will never be able to have, and you could only dream to. She could have been a comedian. Wow. And it was kind of funny too that she didn't care, or
she wasn't like, look at me, I'm being funny. No. It came out of her.
It just came out of her. She was fun-loving, like, loved life, hilarious, and just said whatever she wanted. And I loved it so much. She called cigarettes pimp sticks.
I miss her, and I've never even known her.
She's the freaking best.
Pimp sticks and linger on a weenie. I think those need to be our first t-shirts.
Yes. She would be like, give me a pimp stick. And that, like, let me borrow a pimp stick all the time. I didn't have pimp sticks. I don't have a pimp stick, Grandma. Go find me a pimp stick. Go get me a pimp stick. Why do you call it that? Doesn't matter. It's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah, she used to go, I slap you when you shit your pants.
Did she have that accent, or did she just
slap you when I kill you sure?
Oh,
yeah, it was the best.
I love her.
Yes,
she should have had a podcast.
She really should have.
Yes.
She would have been the Mother Me Been best.
She'd be like, "Give me those mics, girls. I'll show you how it's done."
Yeah, exactly.
This is getting sad.
Oh my gosh, so good. So good.
So good.
Yeah, I want linger on a weenie now too.
I really do too. I really, really do.
Agreed.
I want linger on a weenie with I kind of just want it on its own. Just like good garlic butter and like some fresh Parmesan and like just a little bit of fresh parsley.
The really good, like good fresh Parmesan. Yeah. Just freshly grated. My mouth is watering.
And mine too.
Some garlic, some like toasted garlic.
Yes.
Thrown in.
That's like been roasted crunchy. And then smushed and then like, oh
my God.
Josh.
And a big thing of like a loaf of bread that you just rip off and you just sop up the juices.
Exactly.
You had a different reaction to that.
I like bread. I like all of it.
I like all of it, too.
What were we talking about? Simon Says. No, we already did that.
We did that. We've done a good job so far. I don't think either one of us have snorted.
This is my big fear now. Now that Simon has given us this challenge, that I'm going to be so self-conscious that I'm not going to snort.
See, and for you, it's self-consciousness. For me, it is sheer freaking competitiveness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm given a task to not do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm going to hold out.
Yeah.
Because I have to win.
And see, I'm almost like, because I can be a bit of a people pleaser, I'm like, I need to snort. But like, I can't make myself snort. But then it would be dishonest to pretend snort.
I know.
But I might do it anyways.
But then I feel really bad because if Simon did this and he wasted, like, he worked up some energy to be able to do it.
Let's say, okay, if we snort... Or if we, what's something that we're really likely to do?
I think we just need to make it a snort. Listen, if we don't do it, sometimes you win, Simon says, sometimes you lose.
That's true. Simon might be the loser.
And he is a loser. No, he's not.
He's a loser in all things.
He's a loser in losing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Simon, you suck at losing.
Yeah.
Simon, see?
Simon says.
Really, really good. Oh, you snorted! I win the game, and now she's still screaming.
Look at that! Oh my gosh!
I love it.
Oh,
okay,
it. I didn't even
spill it, sister.
Son of a bee sting. So I need to tell my guilty pleasure now.
I think you do.
Okay, I have a guilty pleasure. I have a few guilty pleasures, but one of them is lingering on my weenie. No. Is lingering in my brain right now because we are at that time of year.
Mm.
So, you know those those metal tubs of the Triforce of popcorn that you get at the holiday season?
Yeah.
There's the butter, the cheese, and the caramel corn. Caramel corn?
You called it a Triforce. I like that.
Thank you.
And I don't know, caramel or caramel. It's like Seaman and Simon.
It depends on what you're saying. Like, I would not say a caramel apple. I would say a caramel apple.
Yeah.
But if you will hand me a piece of caramel, sounds right.
Give me a handful of caramels.
Yes.
You don't say give me a handful of caramels.
Ew, that sounds ridiculous.
If you say that, you should have them shoved down your windpipe.
Yes. With the wrapper still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun pooping that out later.
If you live to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, so we would get those every holiday. My mom she got us Josh's mom got us 2 tubs of them for Christmas, and my mom got us 1. I used to take the caramel popcorn, put it in a bowl, and cover it with milk like it was cereal, and eat it with a spoon.
I love it. I don't know why more people don't do it.
My mouth is watering right now.
Josh.
So bad. He should be bringing us the
I know. He knows.
Popcorn.
He absolutely knows that we want snacks now.
Do you think that it would bother our listeners to hear us crunching on it, though?
I think they would enjoy it.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
Why don't you send him a textable message?
Josh.
See.
If... oh, yeah, I turned off my phone because I kept getting texts.
Because I yelled at you.
Yeah, you did. You yelled real bad.
Mother knows best.
You knew what I was referencing.
Absolutely, I did. That's why I said, I'm just kidding, I love you.
Stop being so sensitive. It's been a journey since we didn't disappear.
No, we just stopped to eat. To eat some food and drink some drinks.
Melody thought it would be funny to try to look sexy in a picture.
As usual, because I am the least sexy person.
Well, it started off with her doing a ridiculous cross-eyed photo. And then she's like, I wonder if I could look sexy in a photo.
The answer is no. The answer is straight up no.
I gave her a lot of advice. I said,
all of which turned into the most ridiculous look I've ever had.
Well, putting your hair in your face, squinching your eyes, drawing in your cheekbones, flaring your nostrils, and pouting your lips all at the same time is a pretty tall order.
I didn't even try to pout my lips. I didn't know that part. I did try to, like, make them go out like I just had them Botoxed. It was hellacious at best.
The best one she got was really
just blur.
Was there a blur of her trying to do all those things at once?
Somehow, by closing my eyes, I made them still cross. By flaring my nostrils, I sucked them in. By pursing my lips, I looked like a half smile crocodile.
I've never seen you make that expression with your mouth, but it's like it is.
What, this one?
It's a little bit, and I don't mean this as an insult, but it's a little bit Joker-esque.
Oh, I get that.
Like you get the strong.
That's not insulting at all, actually.
No.
Fine.
Joker is like almost always.
Which version are we talking about?
We're talking Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
The hot one.
A little dead inside.
Yeah. He would approve of that joke.
I know he would.
I don't know. I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to. I'm a big Harley Quinn fan. So,
Yeah.
And then the Jack Nicholson one, I used to think was great, but when I went back and watched it after I'd seen Heath Ledger's performance, it's pretty campy.
Yeah, it is. It is very campy,
Yeah,
but I also kind of like that about it too.
Yeah, I have a heart for it.
Yeah.
But for me, for some reason, that performance in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Is that what the second one's called? It's called
so.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I didn't want to seem like a poser.
I know. No, me too. I'm not a DC fan. I didn't really like any of the Batman. I'm going to just go ahead and say it.
No. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't care for Christian Bale as Batman. This is getting very movie heavy.
I know, it really is.
But his performance as the Joker was probably one of my favorite performances. Mm-hmm. Just period.
Yes, I agree. I like Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah. And are you proud of me?
Yeah, well, I'm proud of you for knowing, and I'm also shocked and amazed because Jared Leto got a lot of criticism for his performance.
See, no, here's the thing. I thought that he did a really good creepy version of him. But it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was the Joker. Like, he did a very good
creepy guy,
psychopathic person, which I guess is kind of what that.
I mean, he is a psychopath for sure, but he's so much more. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah,
that's
should.
All we can
and
say.
Let me know what you think, because I mean, I don't know. Jared Leto's just dreamy, so I might be biased, but
he is dreamy. That reminds me of a story.
Tell me.
So I went to take.
Tell me.
I am just so smart, right? Boo and I take our kids on date nights every other week. So 1 week I'll take Emmy out, and then the next week he'll take Emmy out, and then I'll take Ran when he takes Emmy.
Right.
Get it? You know, two kids, two parents. It works out. It works out, you see. It's really bad.
Come on, you see, it really works out.
Yours was better than mine. So I was like, I'm going to take her to a movie, but I'm not going to take her to a dumb kids movie. She can handle something cooler than that.
And you went.
And went and took her to see Thor.
I'm so happy.
I know. And it was really not a bad idea because she loves superheroes. And she really likes to watch movies. But I didn't realize the movie was so long.
It is.
It was so long. So even though she was enjoying it, about 2/3 of the way through, she started to get really restless.
Yep.
And she was like, I want a red drink. And I'm like, I don't know if they have red drinks. She's like, they have red drinks. And I was like, okay, shit. Like, we got to get out of here or there's going to be a mob after us.
She got super Thor about it.
She went all Thor, went all Hulk almost. And so we went out and she's like, see, and she points to the high C. And I'm like, oh, yes.
Yes, they did.
You noted that before. Okay, cool. So we get her a high C. And then she's like, I want candy. And I was like, cool. This is mommy-daughter date night. Let's go all out.
Yes.
She points to the sour Skittles.
Ooh.
Now, if you know my daughter, once she has decided on what she wants, there is no changing it. The only way to get her to realize is to let her experience for herself if it's going to be a mistake. You itching your nose made me want to itch my nose.
Really?
Scratch, I mean.
Itching and scratches is fine.
It's fine. It's fine. People, I've been criticized.
The itching
I've been burned.
Show, you be whatever you want.
So I was like, fine, we're getting the sour Skittles. Let's just get crazy up in this bitch and let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
So we go back to the theater. She's calm. She wants only the red ones. But then, of course, what does she say? They're too sour.
Well,
she starts talking loudly about it. And I figured out a quick solution in my love and desperation. I sat there with a handful of Skittles, searching out the red ones, sucking the sour stuff off.
No, you did not.
Completely, and then feeding them to her like a baby bird. And got us through the rest of the movie. And I'll tell you what else it got me. was a very, very raw tongue.
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super painful.
Oh God. Yeah.
And I come home and there's some chicken on the counter, and I'm like, ooh, I'm famished. I've only had sour Skittle sugar, not even the actual Skittles.
The salt did it.
Yeah, and I didn't realize the chicken was spicy.
Oh.
I was in so much pain. Then I tried to make it better by eating a banana, and that hurt too. So that's my Thor experience.
Your tongue was a little Thor about it.
Oh, thrill Thor about it.
A thrill Thor.
Thrill Thor. Also, the hero in that movie, not hero, the villain, the opposite of what I just said. She has a giant black wolf that she parades around with. And Imogen was pretty good about whispering for most of it. But right at the end, she goes, "Why won't the lady pet her big soft doggy?" And people like turned and giggled and smiled.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so we survived. It was a battle, just like in the movie.
So I know that you're not a big fan of superhero movies. And I love you anyway. I love you nonetheless.
I know. Just like I know you like Love Actually. And still like it's the truest test of friendship. I love you still. Oh, Garden State.
She hates Garden State. She hates Love Actually. I love both of those things.
And you don't hate me for hating them, and I don't hate you for loving them.
No. I am so sad though, but I do want to know, what do you think of Thor?
It was funny.
It was so freaking funny. Korg in it. I want to oh my God. It was so funny.
Is he the rock person?
Yes.
Okay.
Was it so funny?
Yes.
Oh my God. And I cannot wait for the rest. Oh my God. I cannot wait. I can't wait for Thanos. Let's
go see it together. Let's take the kids. Also, who's the girl who played like the Valkyrie? She's so familiar to me.
If you hadn't have asked, because you know how bad I am about knowing
I'll
people's
look her
names,
up.
but I do know.
I'll IMDb
because yes, you should, because I can't remember her name right now. But
no, I was
she's like so beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
She's so freaking beautiful.
She is my ideal of beauty because I'll tell you why. Because she's not only beautiful, but she's cute.
Yeah.
The combination of adorable and beautiful is like, oh, and then she had muscles and curves.
I know.
Goals. I'm just gonna say it. Makes me sound like a basic bitch, but hashtag goals.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah.
Honey.
So
we're 36 minutes in. Should we talk about our something weird?
I feel that we should.
Get into it.
Yes.
Get back into it.
Let's get back on this horse. We jumped off it last week.
Yeah, last week we just talked and talked.
Yeah.
We talked and talked, honey.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm going to talk about... Do you want me to talk first?
I really want you to talk first.
Okay.
I really do. I don't know why, but it just felt so right when you grabbed that paper.
Right. Like it was meant to be.
Yeah, like we had planned it. I heard mint
it's
too.
It's meant to be. I'll have a mojito, dear. Okay.
Let's do this thing.
Let's do
it. Look, it almost says 24/7. You can edit that asinine comment out.
Was it backwards?
Yes, it was 7:24.
I got you.
And I got excited.
I got you, boo. I'm going to edit that out too. Okay. So my something weird today
Ooh.
goes by many names. Just as the devil himself, what I'm about to discuss, as I said, goes by many names.
I'm so intrigued.
Some of which include the devil's tritone,
Ooh.
the flatted fifth,
Ooh.
the augmented fourth, or the diabolus in musica.
That's my favorite so far.
Me too. It means, in Latin, the devil in music.
Oh.
And, as its Latin moniker suggests, it is a combination of evil-sounding tones designed to create a chilling and foreboding atmosphere.
Holy verschlugana.
Yeah, so what I need to do is have Josh, our butler, put in a little strum, a little ditty on his git fiddle, right about here.
Okay.
Bling, 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 of the devil's note.
That was chilling.
It is chilling. It actually does. Like, I wish that he was in here, that he could kind of show you what it does. Kind of give you like an eerie.
No, there are things there.
Feeling.
Yeah, and I feel like is it always played on a fiddle?
No, but I get it.
Fiddle. Fiddles. Fiddles give me the willies.
Fiddles give me the whittles.
They're diabolical instruments.
They are. Well, also.
Oh. Does it make you feel like a river dancer?
Yeah, it does.
I knew it.
There's, you know the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia"?
Uh-huh.
I hate it so much. It makes me scared. It literally scares me. It's giving me the willies. I can't talk about it anymore. Okay. That's all. That is all there is to say about that. It was first given the name because the listeners originally found it unpleasant and off-putting.
Sorry. I had to undo my pants.
The Devil's tritone's deepest roots are in classical music, where it has often served as the, I'm going to butcher this word, leitmotif.
Ooh, that sounded so good.
Leitmotif?
I mean, we know motif is good.
Yes. To signal the presence of something sinister. Medieval arrangements employed the tritone to represent the devil.
Is it like that bum bum bum?
No.
Okay.
It's like I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna get Josh in here because I want you to hear it. Can you say that again?
So imagine 1600s classical European scaling.
Okay.
Also, listeners, imagine Josh's eyes darting wildly from side to side, like, why are they doing this to me?
Okay, go ahead.
So you would hear like a, but now imagine hearing this.
Do it again. Like that just...
I feel like I've heard that like in movies and in westerns and I don't know, like
lots of different things.
Yeah.
Lots of different things, and we shall discuss now. Thank you, Joshua, for your
Thank
musical
you.
silence.
We appreciate it. We'll call you. We'll contact your agent.
Thank you, Josh. Okay.
It was discordant.
Yes,
it was
yes.
dissonant. It was discombobulating.
It was diffusing of dismalness.
Yes. That.
No, because that would be taking away the dismalness, and it was dismal, so...
It was diffusing dismal within the...
diffuse.
D-air.
Dear.
D-air.
Hey. Medieval arrangements employed the tritone to represent the devil, and Roman Catholic composers sometimes used it to reference the crucifixion. There are rumors that the diminished fifth tritone was banned by religious authorities.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was. People say it was. People also say that it wasn't, but I'm going to say it was.
I'm going to say it was.
Yes. Even composers were punished for sneaking it into their work. Given that various Christian faiths and organizations have either produced or influenced much of the classical Western canon, experts seem to think that it's more likely that musical monks and other religious composers discouraged it to keep within the strict musical tones. So in those days, music was very much an act of praising God.
Yes.
It was lovely. It was supposed to sound great. You do it.
It was serious business.
It really was, yes. And music, therefore, should be beautiful and moving. The augmented fourth, which spans 3 whole steps in a scale, is one of the most dissonant.
Ooh.
Thank you.
I predicted that one.
You did. Musical intervals. And it was considered unpleasant and ugly, and you wouldn't want anything diabolical to praise the Lord, would you?
No, you wouldn't. But can I tell you something before we go on?
Please.
I find it strangely pleasing.
And you will, and a lot of people do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too. And a lot of people, I mean, pretty much most people that you hear play now in most types of music use it. It just sounded bad.
It sounds rebellious. It does.
It is. Yes, definitely. The Devil's Note has two histories, both extremely different and linked by minor scale and patterns. The one I've delved into, I wrote that.
Good.
But you don't say that. Like, I would never say, the one that I just delved into.
You wouldn't, because you have friends. I would.
The one that I just talked about thus far has been classical music origins. However, the other has its origins in blues.
Yes.
Yes. The blues scale has the flat fifth, which is what they call it. In these scales, almost every note has a darker or a melancholy feel to it. And much of the origins to the link of the melancholy tone in blues is perhaps the origins of slavery music and soul music. And you have to think that the blues, while it's a wonderful outlet, while we all love it, and it's great for us to listen to today, for a time was considered uncouth and rather unsavory to listen to, and quite underground. Whereas classical was considered high society.
So true.
Yep. And all the more difficult to get away from such dark music. So, like, yeah. So, hang on. I lost my spot. Edit this out.
Yeah, the blues are considered so, like, underground and rebellious. And
it is.
Under your skin.
A little dirty.
Yeah.
And it is dark.
And it's grit.
Yes. And I love it.
Me too.
So the augmented fourth interval became the hallmark in the 40s and the 50s of the type of jazz known as bebop. Those who used it called it the flattened fifth. Jazzmen of the era also had a hand signal, which consisted of a high five with the thumb folded into the palm.
That's our thing now.
Bop, which to me, I'm sorry, is just a high four.
Or a high 8 if you're gonna do the math.
Yeah, exactly. This gesture, used as a greeting between jazzers, was known as the sign of the flatted fifth. And eventually, in the early 60s, rock bands and later metal bands would come along and infuse both classical and blues into rock and metal and take the darkness to a new level.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, new level. All right. Now let's take a look at one of the most famous who decided who decided to play with the devil, so to speak. In the 1920s and 30s lived an American blues singer-songwriter, Robert Johnson.
Oh.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Well, Johnson is very famous.
And better known as?
Robert Johnson.
I just don't know my stuff. I thought you were going to be like, Elvis Presley.
I love you so much. Johnson is one of the most fascinating and mysterious performers in music history. You'll know when I start to talk about him.
Okay.
He created a body of blues guitar music and recorded 29 songs between 1936 and 37. Whoa. That's 1 year.
Indeed.
He influenced the likes of Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, Keith Richards, Johnny Winter, and many more.
Okay, I know all those people.
Okay, I'm proud of you. According to legend, as a young man living in a plantation in rural Mississippi, Johnson had a huge desire to become a famous blues performer. The story goes that one night he was instructed to take his guitar to a crossroads near Dockery Plantation at midnight. There he was met by the devil, who took the guitar and tuned it. The devil played a few songs and returned the guitar to Johnson, giving him mastery of the instrument in exchange for his soul.
Ooh.
Johnson was able to create the blues for which he became famous, and he used the devil's note all throughout playing.
It all makes so much sense.
I mean, think about it. Like,
think about it. How else could he write all those songs in 1 year?
Yes, it's crazy. Oh, so like the part that's like the craziest to me is, I mean, they say that he did. He even there's a couple songs that he wrote that talk about it. I think one of them is called Crossroads, where he talks about selling his soul to the devil.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. But people genuinely like believe it. Some of them are like, it's just a story. But he did like that. He did have a lot of success come super fast. But also, it's just crazy to me that he was famous for selling his soul to the devil to become famous, and what he used to do it, the devil's note
all the time.
Yes, it's crazy to me.
It's crazy.
And Josh and I started, like, he was talking to me about this the other day, and was like, "This could be a fun story for you to talk about." I was like,
"I've never heard of this."
Yes. It's so cool.
It's so interesting.
Another fun fact about Johnson is that he was one of, if not the earliest member of the 27 Club. Do you know what the 27 Club is? Okay. So many hugely successful and talented musicians have died at the age of 27.
Oh.
So Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix,
it's so
Kurt Cobain.
Insane. They lived such short lives, and did so much more than we have.
27. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Numbers do seem to crop up over and over again.
Yep. The real cause of his death isn't declared, or is declared as unknown, but there are several theories about it. One theory claims that Johnson was murdered by a jealous husband who poisoned his whiskey after the blues singer flirted with his wife in a country dance.
Just for a flirt?
Witnesses stated that Johnson began feeling ill within the course of 3 days and eventually died. In a state of pain. But yeah, the 27 Club is something crazy too to think about. And I remember being 26 and being like so cocky. Being like, I am like a local celebrity. So like I'm probably going to die at 27.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And you didn't.
I didn't. So it means that I wasn't worth shit.
Here's the truth. All of those people who died at 27 all sold their souls for their talent.
Ooh.
It makes perfect sense.
And they all played the devil's note.
Yes. And they were a little
bit rebellious
beyond their years.
Yep.
They were sort of it just came up out of them, right? Their gift. Because it was not theirs. And they said, fine, I will live to 27 if I can have this moment.
Oh my God.
Solved.
Oh my gosh, though.
I know.
Seriously.
It makes sense. And I just thought of it.
I think you might be onto something.
I think I am.
We should actually look further into that.
Yeah,
maybe we should write a book.
Yes, we need to follow YouTube. Let's start researching this more. I'm gonna stay up all night. I'm gonna let you stay up
my
all bangs night. Are gonna look horrible because I'm gonna just running my hands.
Mine
through
are
my hair.
Gonna look pretty good because I'm gonna let you do all the
work.
You're
gonna text me every morning and say,
"Are you doing the work?"
Yeah, and I'm gonna be scribbling all over my walls.
Yes.
I don't think I have any Sharpies right now, but I have so many crayons.
Oh my God! Use any color
lying
you
around
can find.
everywhere.
Don't use white.
No. Unless I run out of everything else, I won't use white.
Unless you run out of everything else and you paint a wall black first.
Yeah. And like I'm just gonna show up at your house. Like I'm just gonna be in my bathrobe.
You're like I figured it out.
Once you figured it out,
and then you're gonna shrivel down into. No, I guess you wouldn't shrivel. You're gonna bloom back to that 27-year-old that you once were.
Yes.
And you're gonna be like, I figured it out. Why am I acting like I'm old? No, you're gonna be like, I figured it out. And then you're gonna fall dead, and none of us will ever know.
No.
And your body will be that of a 27-year-old.
That of a 27-year-old. Medically, they're gonna be like, she died at 27.
And I'm gonna be like, no, she just turned 34. Don't you believe me? I celebrated her birthday with her.
3 + 4 = 7. And that means...
And there are 2 of us.
27. Plus, I sold my soul to have this incredible insight. I shouldn't have done it.
You know what scares me?
What's that?
I'm going to bring it out there, okay?
Okay, put it.
All right.
Oh, no.
This is deep-rooted.
Okay.
I remember watching 2020 beat me up as a kid.
The kids should not have been watching that.
No. Because that's where I learned about the Riverdance guy. And
I don't even really talk about serial killers and like horrific crimes against children. Go on.
Well, that is a horrific crime against a child.
Oh, yeah,
to see it.
all humanity.
Yeah. What? You're not drinking much?
Well, because I have to drive home.
Oh, do you want me to drink it? Nice. So I watched an episode about a guy that sold his soul to the devil, and it scared me so bad.
Oh my gosh.
And okay, I'm gonna admit something that's really embarrassing that I've never told anybody.
Oh my gosh.
I might not leave it in.
I want to hear it. I have to hear it regardless.
Okay. So it scared me so bad to like know about that you could sell your soul to the devil, that it scared me that I might do it one day.
Aww,
and
that sounds like me. That's the kind of thing that would have freaked me out.
It did so bad. And so
I used to be afraid that I would accidentally think the thought that I love Satan.
I know, me too. Me too. And then you would love
Then
him.
suddenly you would be evil and your soul would be gone.
Me too. So in my head, and I don't do it nearly as much, and I say not nearly as much because that means that I still do a little bit sometimes, but I used to repeat in my head repeatedly. I used to say over and over in a little ditty that I made up of my own, I'm not going to sell my soul, no. I'm not going to sell my soul, no. I'm not going to sell my soul, no. And I, all the time, and through my whole life, since I've watched that, I have said it. Like, if I feel scared sometimes, like, or if I want something, I'll be like, start saying it because you don't know if the devil's gonna get in your head and he's gonna tell you sell your soul and you can have it,
and you may accidentally do it. So you gotta have a preemptive ditty.
So he knows, he's heard it for my whole life.
Yep.
I'm not gonna sell my soul, no.
You know what the devil does when he hears that song? He turns his ponytail and runs.
Yes, he does. I can just tell. And so I used to stomp my feet on the ground and do it
like a river dancer.
No, just like hell's right beneath me, right? So he'll hear me stomping and chanting, and he'll be like, "Hell no, I'm out of here."
Yeah, I mean, hell yes, heaven no.
This girl's got Jesus in her soul. Sorry, that seemed blasphemous.
God made us the way we are. He gets it.
He does. But yeah, so
her drink her drink is possessed. It's the devil's spit.
I'm not gonna sell my soul, no. I'm not gonna sell my soul, no.
I'm gonna use that now.
You should. It works. I haven't sold my soul yet.
You haven't sold your soul yet, and I have never loved the devil.
No, and you just, I mean, it's. So the devil went down to Georgia. It talks about the guy selling his soul to the devil. And that always scared me because I already had it in my head about the selling your soul thing. Yeah. And so it freaked me out. And so even reading about all this stuff really freaked me out. I'll probably have bad dreams tonight. I might call you. I might text you.
Yeah, you can.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
apparently... Well, I don't want to go so far as to say that it's normal to be afraid that you're going to accidentally sell your soul.
But at least for us.
We both did it.
At least we know we're not alone.
Yes. It's called a dark, intrusive thought.
Yes, and sometimes you have them.
Sometimes everybody has meeped up thoughts. I was just thinking about this recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, but nobody talks about it.
Nobody does, but now we are. We're breaking that. We're breaking that little fever.
We're breaking the meep barrier.
Yes.
Tell us your meeped up thoughts.
Do you have any meeped up thoughts? Have you acted upon them?
Yes. Be careful what you say, but we do know a really good defense attorney if you need one.
Yeah, she knows how to get rid of dead bodies.
Oh yeah, she told us all at the Christmas party.
I love her. It was the best. That was the best Christmas present. So what's your weird?
Well, speaking of people with seemingly diabolical talents.
Ew.
I want you to know, I want you to guess who I could be talking about.
Okay.
When I tell you the story of a young boy.
Okay.
So this young boy was sent to the police station. Picture like a cute little British village, maybe not village.
I picture a kid wearing knickers up to his knees.
Tall socks.
He's got.
Wait, is that what knickers are? No, knickers
are like
shorts.
Pants, underwear, but don't they go down kind of low?
I think they do. And then his socks meet his knickers.
Exactly. They go under the knickers.
They do. And then they've got
suspenders
and a cute little newsboy cap thingy.
Absolutely.
He's got all that going on,
Rosy cheeks.
But he's a little bit, you can see there's, there's a little something off about this kid.
As they do.
So he was sent to the local police station. Why can't I talk? With a letter from his father that he was instructed to hand to the desk sergeant. The desk sergeant read the letter and immediately locked the boy up for 10 minutes.
Oh.
After that, the sergeant let the young boy go and explained, "This is what happens to people who do bad things." Do you know who that little boy was?
Was it? Yeah, I mean, I do because I know what you're talking about, but should I say?
It was Alfred Hitchcock.
Or as you like to call him when you are quickly typing and not proofreading, cock.
Cock. The very first word on this page is cock. Cock was sent to the local police station. That's what it says. Now, as you might imagine, for a sensitive child, this had an effect on him.
Well, of course.
In fact, he developed a morbid fear of the police from that day on.
Oh my God.
He cited this phobia also as the reason he never learned to drive, which is a pretty big handicap in life, because his reasoning was a person who doesn't drive can never be pulled over and given a ticket.
Oh my God.
I know. Pretty messed up, right? It's also cited as the wrong man theme, people being falsely accused in many of his films. Because if you don't know that Alfred Hitchcock is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest, movie directors of all time, please
go meep yourself.
Go meep yourself hard and don't enjoy it because you don't deserve it.
Exactly.
Young Hitchcock himself says that he was also required to stand at the foot of his mother's bed every night and tell her in detail what happened to him that day. This all seems like a recipe for
goodness.
Yes. But here is my question to you.
Yeah.
If they hadn't meeped him up, would he have made these incredible films?
That's exactly what was going through my head right now. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, it sucks at the time, but also thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for doing what you did. I don't know why you did it.
I wonder if he thinks thank you.
I know. I don't know. But I do know that out of our weird wounds and idiosyncrasies sometimes come our most interesting art.
It's true.
Because of the fact that we're all meeped up and we're all trying to make sense of it, and that's what people relate to. So, Sir Alfred Joseph Hitchcock.
Was he knighted?
He was knighted right before he died.
Okay.
I swear, everybody gets knighted for no good reason. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but
I mean,
he didn't kill a freaking dragon. That's what I think makes you a knight, okay?
Either that or marrying your sister.
Yeah.
Or wearing one of those metal suits without cutting yourself.
Having a weirdly close relationship with an older man who calls himself a wizard.
Oh, God, yes. I freaking love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So hard. Go ahead.
We need to watch more movies together. Well, we do it every week, but still. He was an English film director and producer, widely regarded as one of the most influential filmmakers in the history of cinema. So the thing about Hitchcock is you may or may not love his movies, but there's no way. It's sort of like the Beatles.
Yeah.
You cannot diminish the influence.
Yeah, absolutely.
The enormous influence they had on everything after them. So he was born on the outskirts of London, and he entered the film industry in 1919. That
was a hard one.
I don't know why that was hard. It was so easy. It was hard. As a title card designer. After training as a technical clerk, and this made me happy, a copywriter for a telegraph cable company. Copywriters always go on to do great things, people. Except when they don't. But we'll see. So the things that gave him his style, a lot of it has to do with camera movement when you watch his films.
The zoom.
Yes, and he uses a movement that mimics a person's gaze. And he was an expert at making you feel like a voyeur when you're watching his movies, which is really true. I just rewatched Vertigo, or most of it, the other night, and that's exactly how you feel. He frames his shots to maximize anxiety and fear because that's his obsession. And one scholar describes his character shots as regularly displaying the full expression of a character's attitude, feeling, knowledge, position, history, and understanding in a single brilliant coup. What? That's some good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So he's done a lot of stuff. It's so many movies, but the 4 that are often ranked as the greatest of all time are Rear Window, which I think is my personal favorite. I love Vertigo too, which is the other one, another one of them. I also love North by Northwest and Psycho, of course. But Rear Window just has a special place in my heart.
I watched Rear Window with you for the first time, and I loved it. I think about it all the time.
I know, that's what he does. He gets under your skin, and it's just so brilliant that it's all in one, like basically one room on one set. I know, and it's so full of suspense. It's just people talking. So good. I want to see it as a play. Surely they've done it as a play.
Oh God, if they haven't, it's been a hugely missed opportunity.
Now, this will make a lot of people who are forced to watch Citizen Kane happy. In 2012, Vertigo replaced Citizen Kane as the British Film Institute's best film ever made.
Nice.
I'm not saying Citizen Kane's not good, but I do know that I left early that day in film class. I just wasn't feeling it. And Hitchcock was, like me also, he was a copywriter. He was also the youngest of 3 children.
Ooh.
And he described himself as a quiet, well-behaved boy. His father called him...
Super unlike you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was not described that way. His creepy father, called him a little lamb without a spot. And said he could not remember, Alfred said, he could not remember ever having had a playmate.
Oh.
I know.
That's sad.
It's
also,
real
if
sad.
He was such a little lamb without a little spot, then why did he get sent to the jail for 10 minutes?
Exactly.
What the hell did he do to constitute that?
It's like killing the golden goose. Like,
did I use constitute
wait, I don't know if that's right. You used constitute correctly. I think my metaphor was completely off.
I mean, killing the golden goose is pretty bad.
If the boy is producing goodness, you get greedy to push more out of him by scaring him. I don't know where I was going with that. I've tried, okay? So he also, and you can see this in Vertigo, like he had so many strange phobias, and a lot of them had to do with priests and nuns, because he was sent to St. Ignatius College in Stamford Hill. It was a Jesuit grammar school with a reputation for discipline. Can you imagine?
As they are Catholic schools.
The priests used a hard rubber cane on the boys. Always, at the end of the day. So the boys had to sit through classes anticipating the punishment once they knew they'd been written up for it.
Like every kid, or just...
Any kid who got in trouble, they would know, like they wait till the end of the day to mete out that punishment.
Not to...
No, I want to hear it.
Track, but my mother and my grandmother went to Catholic school, and their siblings did. And my grandma told me stories of some of the punishments. She was a little bit ornery. I mean, we talked about her earlier about how she was witty and silly, and so of course in a Catholic school in that kind of setting, it wasn't loved, and she got in trouble a lot. And she always talked about how the nuns would walk around with rulers, and you know how they had that thin metal strip?
Oh gosh.
They would smack, like if you were holding your pencil too tight when you were writing, they would come by and smack you across the hand on the thin side with the metal. Whack! As hard as they could.
That is horrendous.
Yeah. Among many, many other stories that I could tell you of things that the nuns did.
And, like, people didn't even bat an eye at that stuff.
No.
It was just, it's crazy to think that they were allowed to do. I mean, I remember my mom talking about how they used to be allowed to spank kids.
Well, and when I was in school, I absolutely remember when I was in school, you were able to get spankings. I knew kids who did. I never once got a spanking, but I absolutely remember seeing kids getting spanked by my principal, or getting sent.
So
and
crazy.
I remember seeing the paddle in the office. I think I got sent to the office one time, and it was not for something that I did. And you know the story of this, which was super traumatic.
Yes.
But I remember seeing the paddle in there and getting like scared that was going to happen to me, knowing that what I had done was not what I was being accused. Like,
it was very Hitchcock, actually. Yes. You were falsely accused.
Hitchcock,
and you do feel you do kind of have this. He's your daddy.
I have this. What?
Although he was a little, you do kind of have a, not, I wouldn't want to say a guilt complex, but you do try very hard not to get into trouble.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. So he said that it was there at that school that he developed his sense of fear, although I can see other places where maybe he developed it too.
Yeah.
He said the Jesuits used to terrify him to death. And with everything, he's now getting his own back by terrifying other people.
Oh.
So he knew himself.
Hey, what a way to do it. Some people just go and, eat other people.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he did it in a very artful way. Yep. He had a lot of strange ways of relating to women, which were not always good. He weird feelings about women. Like, he apparently could not even stand to look at his wife while she was pregnant.
Do you think that has something to do with his mother? Like,
I think so. Because the mother issues are strong in this one, and in the theme in his movies. And so his portrayal of women, like, it gets studied a lot. And people say that the female characters in his films reflect the same qualities over and over again. They're blonde, they're icy and remote. They're imprisoned in costumes that subtly combine fashion and fetishism. And they mesmerize the men, who often have physical or psychological handicaps, which, I mean, you do see it over and over again. It's so true. And sooner or later, every Hitchcock woman gets humiliated.
Yeah.
Although, in my opinion, Grace Kelly in Rear Window, I mean, yes, she gets into a tough spot. I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody, but in such a badass way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She overcomes.
Oh, she does.
For sure.
Yeah. So, like, the victims in his movies are, in the heroines, all of them, like, they're blonde. He just had this thing. I don't know where that actually comes from. I didn't find it in my research. But also, in relation to women, his films often feature characters struggling in their relationship with their mothers, such as, obviously, Norman Bates in Psycho. North by Northwest, there's an innocent man ridiculed by his mother. In The Birds, like, this guy struggles to free himself from his clinging mother. It's just over and over and over again. Now, Hitchcock's success didn't happen overnight. Apparently, he first visited Hollywood in the late 1930s, and he was turned down by virtually all major motion picture studios because they thought he couldn't make a Hollywood-style picture. He was finally offered a 7-year directing contract, and his first project was supposed to be a film about the Titanic, but it was scrapped because they couldn't find a boat to sink. That's what it says.
Build a boat.
I know.
Anybody can build a crappy boat. Talk to the people who built the Titanic.
The good thing that came out of it, though, is that he was then assigned to direct Rebecca. It's a 1940 movie, which later won Best Picture. He never actually won any major awards, though. He entered a lot of competitions he didn't win. I mean, it's fascinating, and it makes me feel better because I haven't won every competition I've entered, and I sure as hell deserved it. He had weird relationships with actors, too. He apparently he was known to have called them cattle. He did not like them making their decisions. He basically said, like, you are there to do what I tell you. There's no improv. There's no, like, doing your own feeling out of the character, because that's writing, that's not acting.
Oh.
So he was extremely controlling, but he said some interesting things about acting, and I'm not an actor, but I've always wanted to be one. So he says, a good actor or actress is someone who can do nothing very well. And that's so true.
It is.
It's so freaking hard to do.
It's so hard.
He says one of the things you got to learn is to basically have authority over yourself, because when you can do that, you basically have to have control over every little thing that you do. And when you establish that authority on screen, you're completely believable. So I thought that was really interesting.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, I loved it. He obviously had a lot of insight, and he did get great performances out of people over and over again. So even though the actors, he claimed that he disliked the actors, probably a lot of them disliked him. Infamously, like, he made Kim Novak jump into the freezing cold, like, San Francisco Bay over and over again when they were filming Vertigo. Just out of spite. Like, he kept saying he wasn't getting the shot right, but really they think he did it out of spite. He was also, like, really smart business-wise. For Psycho, he deferred his standard $250,000 salary in lieu of 60% of the film's net profits, and his personal earnings from the film exceeded $15 million.
Oh.
So adjusted for inflation, that would now top $150 million. And that was in 2006, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. He appeared, and he was, like, in tons of his movies too. You can see so many of his cameos. He was in all but 18 of the films he directed, and he directed 56 of them. This made me happy. He was infamous with cast and crews for his practical jokes. But while they were sometimes funny, what he really liked to do was find out what scared people and use their phobias against them. So if they were afraid of mice or spiders, he would send them a box full of them.
Oh my God.
I know.
Like, I don't know if I'd be flattered as well as pissed off and scared, or if I'd just be pissed off and scared.
It's insane. He was so quirky. I mean, beyond quirky. He tried to buy every copy of the book based on Psycho so that no one would know how it ended before the movie came out. He bought up
That is hilarious.
I know, it's insane. He spent $9,000 buying these copies of the book. And he also filmed on a closed set and forced cast and crew to sign an agreement promising not to mention the ending to anyone. And there were no advanced screenings. He did everything he could.
Oh my God.
As far as what else was he afraid of? Like, what would you send him a box of?
What would I send Hitchcock a box of?
Yeah. Do you want me to give you an idea?
Oh God.
He was afraid of eggs. Which is funny because he kind of looked like one.
Yeah.
He once said, "I am frightened of eggs." Worse than frightened, they revolt me. Kind of sounds like how I feel about Muppets.
That relates to the pregnancy thing, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with you completely. He says, that white round thing without any holes. Have you ever seen anything more revolting than an egg yolk breaking and splitting its yellow liquid? Blood is jolly, red, but egg yolk is yellow, revolting. I've never tasted it. This man had some deep rooted issues.
I mean, it's chicken, period. So
yeah,
it's kind of gross.
It is pretty stinking gross. It's delicious, though.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I love the runny yolk.
I do, too.
Just dripping down me. Like when it drips down my chin.
I mean, if you knew... That could have been sexy if said not like an 80-year-old man with no teeth.
Like when it drips down my chin.
So, yes, if he ever punked us by sending me a Muppet or sending you a box full of spiders, we could throw raw eggs at him.
Yes, we
could.
And
see who's laughing then. I'm going to end with my very favorite thing about him.
Okay.
Something that inspired me so much that I think I may start doing it.
Okay.
When finishing a cup of tea while on set, he would often non-discriminately toss the cup and saucer over his shoulder letting it fall or break wherever it may.
That's the best. Meep you, I'm out.
It is so much better. Drop. Yeah, it is. It's like a mic drop, but like the British, like, oh, it's everything. It's everything.
It's totally the British mic drop. And my crumpet as well.
That's obviously very incomplete. There are so many documentaries and biographies and crap about Hitchcock. But if you're just a regular person who only wants to kind of feel like you know a little bit, now you can kind of feel like you know a little bit.
Same with the Devil's Note. There's so much more to it, but you know what?
That's not what we do.
That's not what I'm here for.
We're here to poke your fancy.
Poke your fancy. The whole time I kept trying to think, how do I know some of this? Mm-hmm. And I remembered it was because the first Something Weird that we were going to do, you discussed Hitchcock. Hitchcock.
Yes, I did. Hitchcock. And it was, well, I tried.
Yeah. But you hated it. You were so disappointed with the research you did. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what. I think you redid it. Yeah, and you actually redid it. I wanted to redo it. Yeah.
And it was awesome.
You were happy about it because you wanted to redo entirely what yours was.
Yeah.
Also, I'm very proud of you, Amy. You went the whole time without doing our Simon Says. I'm a little also disappointed.
I am too. I mean,
and if you want, you can reveal a guilty pleasure.
I know that was not sincere. It was a pandering snort, if ever there was one.
And there was.
There was just now. Yes. I'll tell you what I like to do.
But
I've talked about this before, but I like memorizing poetry.
Yes.
And I like memorizing soliloquies from plays, like Shakespearean ones.
That name.
And I do too. Let's get a cat and name it soliloquy.
Yeah.
So what I do,
I'd end up doing a shortened version of it and call it quee, and then I'd end up calling it queef, and it would just be so sad. The saddest little name. And embarrassing. Go ahead.
Queef the cat. So when I'm driving around, when I'm driving around alone, I won't, like, sometimes I just won't have any music, nothing, and I will just say them aloud as dramatically as I can, and I'll pretend that I'm on stage.
I love it.
It's so satisfying.
I freaking love it. I want to hear you. I want to be I want you to forget that I'm in the back seat for some reason sometime, which why would I be in the back seat? But I want you to forget and start doing it. I do that while I'm singing.
Yes, and I do it too with singing.
Literally pretend like I'm on stage or at doing karaoke really well.
Yeah,
which I've never done.
I've never done it either.
We need to go do it. We need it. This year should be the year of conquering some of our fears.
I agree, because we've done so much stupid shit in this last year that's all we've survived it.
Yep.
We're going to do even more this year.
Let's do some of the things that we've wanted to do that we're a little scared to do. Take singing lessons.
Yes.
Do karaoke.
Hide in the back of my car and listen to me talk to myself.
Maybe I'll take a small plane ride to somewhere.
Yes. I'll go with you.
Okay.
If we actually ride in a very large plane, because
I don't like the little ones either.
Small planes are scary.
They're so scary.
They're not as safe either.
No, they're not.
I could end with a soliloquy.
Oh, God, please don't. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you. Let her rip.
Melody.
Well, damn it. I wasn't trying to be mean when I said, no, don't do your soliloquy.
But somebody upstairs or downstairs heard you anyways.
I will not sell my soul, no. I will not sell my soul, no. It cut off, and it was so good, and I actually had a really heartfelt moment.
She did. She had this look on her face, and she
I got it for the first time. We talked Shakespeare. It was beautiful, and it cannot be redone.
No. I'm going to say it now, and it's going to be crap.
It's stupid, and it's going to piss me off.
Ugh. Come back to us recording.
Well, nonetheless, Amy, I love you.
Gosh, I still like you.
I guess I still care about you.
Please just tell all your friends like freaking cotton candy.
It'll make you feel better. Wave when I wave.
Bye.
Bye.